What if the secret to success isn't about what you do, but what you stop doing? Imagine unlocking a mindset so powerful that it clears the path to your goals by simply eliminating 7 common pitfalls. Successful people don't waste time on these toxic habits, and neither should you. In this video, we're diving deep into the Stoic philosophy behind the 7 things successful people never do, revealing how mastering these can transform your life and mindset forever. Stick around because by the end, you'll know exactly what to cut out from your daily habits and how to start embodying true success today. If you're ready to break free from self-sabotage and embrace the mindset of the truly successful, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started.
Number 1.
Complaining. One of the most fundamental habits that successful people deliberately avoid is complaining. While it might seem like a natural, even harmless way to vent frustration or express dissatisfaction, complaining is actually a deep-rooted obstacle to growth and achievement. When you complain, you direct your mental energy and focus toward problems, obstacles, and things you wish were different, often things outside of your control. This habit feeds a negative mindset that traps you in feelings of helplessness, frustration, and resentment, instead of empowering you to take meaningful action toward your goals. From the standpoint of Stoic philosophy, which has inspired countless successful leaders and thinkers throughout history, complaining is seen as an unproductive emotional reaction to external events. The Stoics teach that while you cannot always control what happens around you, you can control your judgments, responses, and decisions. This insight is essential for anyone who wants to develop a resilient and effective mindset. Successful people internalize this wisdom deeply. They refuse to let external circumstances dictate their mood, limit their potential, or slow their progress. Instead of wasting time and energy complaining about difficult colleagues, market downturns, personal setbacks, or unfair situations, successful individuals focus intently on what they can influence: their own actions, mindset, and ability to problem solve. This shift from a victim mentality to a proactive, solution-oriented mindset is what builds resilience and sharpens mental clarity. It trains the mind to see challenges not as insurmountable barriers, but as opportunities for learning, adaptation, and growth. Complaining also carries a social cost. It can alienate those around you, damage relationships, and create an environment filled with negativity and low morale. Successful people recognize that positive energy and constructive attitudes attract collaboration, trust, and support, essential ingredients for long-term success in any field. By consciously choosing to silence the urge to complain, they reclaim their mental and emotional energy, redirecting it toward deliberate action, continuous improvement, and the pursuit of meaningful goals. This practice isn't about ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. Rather, it's about accepting reality as it is, without unnecessary emotional resistance, and moving forward with clarity and purpose. Ultimately, mastering the habit of not complaining is a powerful step in cultivating the mindset, discipline, and inner strength necessary to achieve lasting success and fulfillment in life. It is one of the first and most important ways to transform challenges into stepping stones toward greatness.
Number 2.
Blaming. Successful people never waste time blaming others or external circumstances for their problems or failures. Blaming is a tempting habit because it feels easier to point fingers at someone or something else than to confront our own role in a situation. But in reality, blaming is a way of shifting responsibility away from yourself, and it ultimately robs you of the most powerful tool for growth: self-reflection and accountability. When you blame others, you place yourself in a passive role, waiting for things to change outside of your control instead of actively shaping your own life and future. This mindset leads to stagnation and frustration because it keeps you focused on factors you cannot influence. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true power lies in accepting full responsibility for everything that happens in our lives. Not in a self-critical or defeatist way, but in recognizing that how we respond to events is always within our control. The Stoics remind us that external events themselves are indifferent. It is our judgments and reactions that create either suffering or strength. Successful individuals deeply internalize this truth. When faced with setbacks, difficulties, or conflicts, they first look inward and ask themselves, what part did I play in this? What could I have done differently? What can I learn from this experience? What actions can I take to improve or adapt? By owning their mistakes and shortcomings honestly and without excuses, successful people transform challenges into powerful lessons. This practice builds resilience, self-awareness, and emotional maturity, qualities that make them stronger, wiser, and more capable over time. In contrast, blaming others creates bitterness, resentment, and a victim mentality that drains energy and prevents growth. It alienates people and damages relationships because it often comes across as avoidance or defensiveness rather than genuine accountability. Ultimately, refusing to blame is about reclaiming control over your life's direction and becoming the architect of your own success. It means embracing a mindset of ownership and proactivity, where you take responsibility not only for your actions, but also for your thoughts and attitudes. This shift from externalizing fault to internalizing accountability is essential for anyone who wants to achieve lasting progress, build meaningful relationships, and find true fulfillment in life. When you stop blaming others, you empower yourself to face challenges head-on with clarity and courage. You open the door to continuous growth, and you cultivate the confidence that no matter what happens, you have the ability to choose your response and keep moving forward. This mindset is a cornerstone of success that can transform not just your career, but your entire life.
Number 3.
Arguing. Successful people understand that arguing rarely leads to productive outcomes. While it might feel satisfying in the moment to win an argument or prove a point, constant arguing often creates unnecessary conflict, damages relationships, and wastes valuable time and energy. Instead of fostering understanding or progress, arguments tend to escalate emotions and entrench opposing views, making collaboration and compromise difficult. From a Stoic perspective, the focus is on maintaining inner calm and rationality, even in the face of disagreement. The Stoics teach that it's more important to seek wisdom and harmony than to be right or dominant in any debate. Successful individuals adopt this mindset by prioritizing calm, respectful dialogue over heated confrontation. They listen carefully, aiming to understand the other person's perspective before responding. This approach creates space for empathy and connection, reducing tension and opening the door to meaningful solutions. Arguing is often rooted in ego and pride, the desire to prove oneself superior or to defend one's identity. Successful people recognize this trap and learn to let go of the need to win at all costs. Instead, they focus on common ground and shared goals, which leads to more constructive conversations and stronger relationships. They also know when to disengage from futile debates that lead nowhere, choosing their battles wisely. By avoiding unnecessary arguments, successful people protect their emotional energy and preserve positive connections with others. This does not mean they avoid conflict entirely or suppress their opinions, but rather that they approach disagreements thoughtfully and strategically. They understand that how they communicate in moments of tension can either build bridges or burn them down. The ability to stay calm and composed even when challenged is a hallmark of emotional intelligence, a key trait of successful leaders and thinkers. This composure allows them to respond rather than react, to influence rather than antagonize. It enables problem-solving rather than polarization. Ultimately, mastering the art of avoiding destructive arguing aligns closely with the Stoic ideal of self-control and rationality. It helps successful people maintain focus on what truly matters: progress, collaboration, and personal growth. Choosing peace over pride, understanding over confrontation, is a powerful strategy for lasting success. In a world full of noise and conflict, those who can calmly navigate disagreements with grace and wisdom gain a significant advantage. They cultivate trust, respect, and cooperation, foundations upon which great achievements are built.
Number 4.
Bragging. Successful people understand that bragging is a sign of insecurity rather than confidence. While it may seem tempting to showcase achievements loudly to gain approval or admiration, true success speaks for itself through consistent actions and results. Bragging often comes across as boastful and can alienate others, creating barriers instead of building connections. From the Stoic perspective, humility is a virtue closely tied to wisdom and self-awareness. The Stoics emphasize focusing on what truly matters, virtue, character, and meaningful contributions, rather than external validation or superficial praise. Successful individuals internalize this philosophy by letting their work and integrity demonstrate their value, rather than words or exaggerated claims. Bragging is often driven by a need to prove worth to others, which can indicate underlying self-doubt or fear of being overlooked. In contrast, successful people cultivate quiet confidence rooted in self-acceptance and competence. They know that genuine respect is earned over time through consistent effort and integrity, not through flashy self-promotion. Furthermore, bragging can damage relationships and trust. People tend to respect those who are modest and grounded, not those who constantly seek the spotlight. By avoiding bragging, successful individuals foster stronger bonds with colleagues, friends, and partners because their humility invites openness and collaboration. Successful people also recognize that actions have a far greater impact than words. Instead of talking about what they've done or plan to do, they focus on delivering tangible results and letting those results speak volumes. This approach not only builds credibility, but also commands genuine admiration. Choosing humility over bragging is a strategic decision that reflects emotional maturity and self-control. It allows successful people to stay focused on continuous improvement without getting distracted by the need for external approval. This mindset fosters lasting success because it prioritizes substance over style. Ultimately, resisting the urge to brag aligns with the Stoic ideal of living with virtue and authenticity. It encourages us to seek internal fulfillment rather than external applause, and to build a reputation based on genuine merit. This principle is a powerful foundation for sustainable achievement and respected leadership.
Number 5.
Talking too much. Successful people understand the immense value of listening more than they speak. Talking excessively can often cloud judgment, lead to misunderstandings, and cause you to miss important information. When you talk too much, you may reveal your thoughts prematurely or give away your strategic intentions, which can weaken your position in negotiations, leadership, or collaboration. Stoic philosophy highlights the power of restraint and thoughtful speech. The Stoics believe that silence often holds more wisdom than words, and that careful listening allows you to learn, understand others deeply, and respond with clarity and precision. Successful individuals embody this principle by choosing their words deliberately and prioritizing active listening in their interactions. Listening more than talking helps you build stronger relationships. People appreciate being heard and understood. When you listen attentively, you gain insights into others' needs, motivations, and concerns, which can help you respond more effectively and foster trust. This empathy and connection are vital for both personal and professional success. Talking too much can also be a sign of insecurity or impatience. Successful people are comfortable with silence and thoughtful pauses. They know that rushing to fill every gap with words is rarely productive. Instead, they use silence as a tool for reflection and to give space for others to contribute meaningfully. By cultivating the habit of listening carefully, successful individuals avoid misunderstandings and prevent conflicts that arise from miscommunication. They gather more information and perspectives, which allows them to make better decisions and create more effective solutions. Moreover, controlling how much you speak enhances your influence. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. People are more likely to pay attention and take your opinions seriously if they are delivered with intention and brevity. This measured communication builds respect and authority. Ultimately, mastering the art of listening and speaking less is a hallmark of emotional intelligence and self-discipline. It reflects confidence and humility, qualities that successful people develop to navigate complex social and professional environments. This balance empowers them to connect deeply, lead effectively, and achieve lasting success. Number 6, judging. Successful people make a conscious effort not to judge others hastily or harshly. They understand that everyone is fighting battles we may not see, and jumping to conclusions can lead to misunderstandings, broken relationships, and missed opportunities. When we judge, we reduce people to single moments, flaws, or labels, rather than appreciating the full complexity of their story, values, and potential. Stoic philosophy teaches us to withhold judgment and instead observe reality with clarity and compassion. According to Epictetus, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Ideally, the same principle applies to judgment. Observe more, judge less. Successful individuals adopt this mindset by approaching people with curiosity instead of criticism. They ask questions, seek to understand, and recognize that they too have made mistakes and changed over time. Judging others often stems from our own insecurities or unmet expectations. When we feel inadequate or threatened, it becomes easy to point fingers in order to feel superior. But this habit doesn't elevate us. It diminishes our emotional intelligence and narrows our perspective. Successful people break this cycle by taking a step back, reflecting inward, and asking, why am I reacting this way? What can I learn from this interaction? Letting go of judgment opens the door to empathy, which is essential for leadership, collaboration, and meaningful connection. When you seek to understand rather than criticize, you make people feel safe and valued. This allows ideas to flow, creativity to thrive, and trust to grow. These are all cornerstones of long-term success in both business and life. Avoiding judgment doesn't mean accepting harmful behavior. It means approaching others with fairness and grace. Successful people know how to hold boundaries while still practicing compassion. They can disagree without dehumanizing, offer feedback without belittling, and stand firm without being cruel. This balanced mindset allows them to build bridges where others burn them, to resolve conflicts where others escalate them. It enables them to learn from diverse perspectives and grow in ways that judging minds simply can't. Ultimately, the ability to withhold judgment is a sign of maturity, strength, and wisdom. It means choosing understanding over assumption, humility over pride, and kindness over condemnation. This mindset not only makes us better people, it makes us better leaders, collaborators, and creators of lasting success. Number 7. Lying. Successful people avoid lying because they understand that honesty is the foundation of trust, and trust is the currency of every meaningful relationship, personal or professional. When you lie, even in small ways, you chip away at your credibility. Once trust is broken, it is incredibly difficult to rebuild. People may forgive, but they seldom forget being deceived. Successful individuals know that the short-term gain from lying is never worth the long-term damage it causes. Stoic philosophy places a high value on truth and integrity. The Stoics believed that living in accordance with nature meant living in alignment with reason and virtue, and truth is essential to both. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it." This timeless advice reminds us that truth is not just a moral ideal. It's a practical path to inner peace and lasting success. Lying creates a complicated web of deceit that often leads to anxiety and fear. You have to remember what you said, to whom, and when. One falsehood usually leads to another, and eventually the truth has a way of surfacing, often at the worst possible time. Successful people choose the simpler, cleaner path. To be honest, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. This approach earns them respect and allows them to lead with clarity and authenticity. In professional settings, honesty builds strong teams and sustainable businesses. When leaders are transparent, they foster a culture of openness, where people feel safe to speak up, take risks, and admit mistakes. This encourages innovation and continuous improvement. In contrast, dishonesty breeds suspicion, politics, and fear, which erode morale and hinder progress. On a personal level, successful individuals understand that honesty with others starts with honesty with oneself. They take time for self-reflection, admit their flaws, and acknowledge their limitations. This self-honesty enables growth, resilience, and real confidence because it's rooted in truth, not illusion. Some may think that bending the truth makes life easier, but in reality, it makes life heavier. Carrying lies around creates emotional and mental burden. Successful people avoid this burden by choosing to live truthfully and deal with reality as it is. They don't manipulate, they communicate. They don't deceive, they disclose. This clarity allows them to move forward freely and with integrity. Ultimately, choosing honesty is about aligning your values with your actions. It's about being someone others can rely on and someone you can be proud of. The path of truth may not always be the easiest, but it is always the most freeing, and for successful people, that freedom is worth everything. We've now covered all 7 things successful people never do: complaining, blaming, arguing, bragging, talking too much, judging, and lying. These aren't just random habits to avoid. They're reflections of deeper values: responsibility, humility, self-control, empathy, and honesty. Successful people don't just chase results, they build character. And by removing these toxic behaviors, they create space for growth, clarity, and meaningful relationships. If you want to live a life that's not just successful, but also fulfilling, start by observing your own habits through the lens of Stoic wisdom. Ask yourself, am I acting with virtue? Am I adding value or noise? Am I living with integrity even when no one is watching? These are the questions that matter most. Stoicism teaches us that greatness isn't about fame or fortune, but about mastering ourselves. And that starts with knowing what not to do just as much as what to do. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're ready to take your personal growth even further, make sure to subscribe for more deep insights rooted in ancient wisdom and modern truth. This is Stoic 101, where we don't just learn philosophy, we live it. See you in the next video. Stay grounded, Mar. Nire wened Roman. Stay wise. Stay stoic.